But first, we have to focus on sports. I will be honest. Mike and I, we grew up in different households, right? You grew up with the love of the 49ers. I didn't even know what the 49ers were until Joe Montana gave me a reason to go to my mom and say, can we buy like Doritos and Pepsi to watch this thing called the Super Bowl? So that is what I thank Joe Montana for. But of course, the 49ers go way deeper and way broader than Joe Montana.
Just think about the history. I mean, Kezar Stadium,
right.
You know, in San Francisco. I was lucky enough to play football there. My brother played there. My dad played there, walking through that tunnel. So, you know, that's just part of the Niners history. And then Candlestick, seeing my first 49er game at Candlestick, and now here in the South Bay at Levi's Stadium where I can take my children and experience it. The Niners organization has been around for decades here. Let's check in with Sal Castaneda one more time, because you had that special opportunity, and it's open to everyone, but to go into that 49ers museum, Sal.
This week has been great, Mike and Garcia. Not only have I had a chance to go to the 49ers Museum, I'm inside the San Jose Tech Interactive Museum, and there's an astronaut exhibit right behind me. So these are all the things I grew up with, the 49ers, astronauts, and by the way, there's a really cool exhibit here. San Jose's own Stephen L. Smith, who was an astronaut, he became an astronaut, but in this museum you see some of the drawings he did when he was a youngster of rockets and spaceships. He eventually did end up becoming an astronaut. I think that's really cool. But yes, we have to switch gears right back to the San Francisco 49ers. And as Mike and Garcia were talking about, if you're a 49ers fan, I strongly suggest that you go to Santa Clara and check out the San Francisco 49ers Museum.
The signs are up heralding the reopening of the 49ers Museum for the first time since it closed for the pandemic. I had the chance to explore this museum at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara with two 49ers legends, Dennis Brown and Steve Bono. Fans will remember Steve Bono as backup quarterback to Joe Montana and Steve Young. When both Montana and Young got hurt in 1991, Bono went 5-1 as the starter and endeared himself to the faithful. Bono still has fond memories of that era.
It was a special place. I was here for 5 years, won a Super Bowl on each end of me being here, and went to the NFC Championship game 4 times in the 5 years that I was here. So we had some pretty good teams.
Dennis Brown played defensive end for the Niners from 1990 to 1996. Brown was an imposing figure playing with a very good 49ers defense. I specifically remember Brown making the life of opposing quarterbacks miserable.
I was lucky. I came in with a very good defensive line, and I was able to learn a lot from these guys. And guys in here, Charles Haley, Ronnie Lott, these guys like this. And it just made it really easy for me to be an NFL defensive lineman. Here's a good friend of yours. You might know this guy.
It was an obvious point of pride for Bono and Brown to show me the team's heritage as represented by this breathtaking collection. Everywhere you look, there is 49ers history from all eras, from the beginning to the present. It's only fitting that here in the Silicon Valley, the museum takes advantage of the latest technology.
This is the all-time roster. So anybody you're looking for, you can come in here, you just type in their name, and that person comes up. Let's get Bone up here. Look at that young cat.
Oh, my gosh.
Steve, my hair was all black at that time too, bro.
In the museum, they have set up Coach Bill Walsh's office complete with the actual desk he used.
My favorite photo in this section is that photo there of Mike White, Bill, and Dick Vermeil. The photo below it is the same 3 guys when they were all together at Stanford in the 60s.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything here actually belonged to Coach Walsh, including the film projector and the old-school 3-ring binder playbooks.
We used to have to carry around binders like that when we used to have camp in Rockland.
Around another corner is the room with all the memorabilia. Here you see classic jerseys, many of them signed. There are the famous gold jackets, helmets, and more. And remember the catch? It's perhaps the most well-known play in 49ers history when Joe Montana found Dwight Clark in the final minutes of the NFC Championship game in 1982. The ball from that legendary play lives here for all to see. Perhaps the most awe-inspiring thing I saw at the museum is when I walked into the room where they keep the 5 Super Bowl trophies.
Oh, my goodness.
So you talk about, the team and kind of what it means to the Bay Area, and I think it's about this, it's the championships, huh, Steve?
This is what it's all about right here.
You can also see the Super Bowl rings just like the ones the players received after winning it all.
And Mike Ngacia, just like Mike did, I grew up with the 49ers. My dad used to take me to games. For a while, we sat in the junior 49er minor section that was sponsored by Berkeley Farms. Raise your hand if you remember that. And then we got season tickets, on the sunny side of Candlestick, and then after we had our season tickets for a little while, we got to sit on the shady side of Candlestick. Woo! Man, that was living,
the
Mike
good
Ngacia.
side.
But obviously, right? I love the 49ers, and you really should come. If you're a 49ers fan, you should visit that museum.
Absolutely. I mean, look, you guys know a lot more about this than I do, but watching your story, Sal, I thought to myself, this would be a great place for sort of a newbie to the 49ers culture because,
I agree.
like I said, you guys know all about it, but it's like you're jumping into the deep end, and just to see the desk, Bill Walsh's desk set up, his red binder
and the
there.
projector.
Great
My goodness
work.
gracious.
Great work,
Sal,
Sal.
thank you.